Bhodi here for the Italian Buddhist, urban Buddhism. I've been thinking a lot lately about ego and how elusive and cunning it is. We were told in our lives sometimes that ego was fine, that you needed at least somewhat of a healthy ego in order to exist. I feel that's wrong. Because that's not, to me, the true definition of what we believe as Buddhists as ego. Ego, think of ego as almost like a shadow that we readily accept. Ego is all about perception, and it's all about really lies. That sounds almost freakish or like or kooky or crazy. It is not. Trust me on this. The ego, in our practice, think about meditation. If you meditate and you sit in silence and in quiet, one of the first things that happens as you anchor your attention on whatever it is, the breath or a mantra or a candle, for instance, or some type of image, as the brain, as the body physically and your mind starts to settle and calm, you will see thousands of instances of the mind racing and going here and there. Much of that is the ego. The ego is that personality, that individual, really, that convinces us that everything it feels and thinks is true. When we're an infant, ego doesn't play a part in it, or even as a toddler, because we haven't learned to accept the precepts of what ego tells us. In meditation, as the mind gets calmer and you reach kind of a still point, you see how cunning and baffling the ego can be, because the ego fights against that. The ego does not want us to be awakened. It tells me things. It'll even tell you, this is how crazy it is, it'll even tell me that my practice doesn't work, or why be silent, why have faith in something, why be compassionate. I have a better way. That's what ego says. I have a better way, and my way, the ego says, is the only way. When you introduce another way, many of us come to Buddhism or meditation. It doesn't necessarily have to be Buddhism. Many of us come to meditation because we're hurt or we're searching. And much of that pain is caused by our self-centered ego. Fear of losing what we have, or fear of not getting what we want. Period. Fear of losing what we have, or fear of not getting what we want. And that could be anything from a material situation, or anything in our personal relationships, and even in a spiritual practice, or it's based in fear. And ego is all about fear, and we buy it. That's the problem. So what I would tell you is the easiest thing for me to do is pause and breathe. Sometimes I don't care if it's doing the dishes or ironing or playing the guitar or walking the dog. You can stop and you can breathe. And it's not even a matter of convincing yourself. It's not a matter of convincing yourself about ego. When I pause and when I'm still, and I anchor my attention, and I separate myself from what Pema Chodron calls Shempa, which is pain and suffering and ego, samsara. As I swim in an ocean of samsara, and that is ego, as they said, the further I get away from that, and distancing myself from that, and in meditation I can arrive at what my true nature is already, my Buddha nature, essence, the divine, wisdom. We all have that wisdom. We all have that wisdom. And it's a matter of settling. You know, if you have dirty water, if you have a glass full of dirty water, and you just let it set, and do nothing to it, just let it set, the debris and the darkness and the mud will float to the bottom, and the water will become clear. That's what we do in meditation, and the ego isn't even there. What's there is our true nature. What's there is our true Buddha nature, our awakening to what is real, our awakening to the end of suffering. Just wanted to tell you that, or talk to you about that rather, not necessarily tell you that. I'm outside and it's beautiful weather, and the ego doesn't have to tell me whether or not the sounds of summer are coming, like you hear with the lawnmowers and so forth, and kind of the wind, the breeze blowing back and forth. So if you have any questions or would like to comment on this, please feel free to write me at Bhodi, BHODI, at ItalianBuddhist.com, or visit me at Facebook.com/ItalianBuddhist, or go to my website, www.italianbuddhist.com. You can also go to YouTube and go to the YouTube channel and go to the search engine or the search box in YouTube and type in Italian Buddhist, and you can join my get on my channel and see some of the other videos. So I wish you so much peace and happiness. May you be peaceful and happy, healthy and strong, and experience ease of well-being. Namaste.